and the born on July 22nd and 1822 and real general and science site in the Moravian and he later joined the Augustine monastery in the Brunn and he got the name of a Krieger as Nobel and he was and Mendel's works are published by the 1866 laid the foundation of the modern genetics. Modern genetics and growth significantly was not fully recognized until after his death in the 1880s.
Anton Keller von Marian. Margaret's later approach is present to handle pursue experiments on the pre-experiments, planned happening hierarchy. It may fail to produce different progenies due to parthenogenetics. It fails to produce new progenies and doesn't obey law of segregations. Unknowingly, he was died in 6 January 1884 in Lewis, Collins, Sharma are rediscovers the Mendel laws.
And we are celebrating of the Gregor John Mendel birth anniversary and we will tell of some points of Mendel's celebration. Genetics is the science of the genes and how traits are passed from the one generation to the next. And this image is also illustrates the hierarchical of the genetic material within a cell. And cell is the composure of the nucleus and inside the nucleus. Chromosomes is the DNA dominated into the structure is called the chromosomes. And this is the DNA. DNA is the unwinded of the chromosomes. And repeating of the DNA molecules is known as the DNA. And genes are the segments of the genes and carrying of the specific genetic information is known as the genes. And this is the base pairs. And the DNA molecules are composed of the repeating units is called the nucleotides. And this is the A means adenine, T means thymine, and K means cytosine, and G means guanine. And Gregor Mendel, often called as the father of genetics, was an Austrian monk and born on July 22nd and 1822 and Ian General and science site in the Moravian and he later joined the Augustine monastery in the Brunn and he got the name of a Krieger as Nobel and he was and Mendel's works are published by the 1866 laid the foundation of the modern genetics. Modern genetics and growth significantly was not fully recognized until after his death in the 1880s.
Mendel attended courses agriculture, horticulture, viticulture at the Philosophical Academy in 1849. He was appointed as a teacher in the Royal Gymnasium in Delhi. In 1841, he studied maths and natural science at the University of Vienna. In 1853, he took the membership of Zoological and Botanical Society of Vienna. On April 5, 1854, he wrote a letter to Julius about the damage caused by tea beetle. He appointed to the post of teacher of physics and natural science in higher secondary school. He was extensively studying experiments for 7 years. In 1862, Mendel became a founding member of the Brunn Natural Science Society. In 1865, he delivered for his first lecture on pre-experiments on Natural Science Society in Brunn. In 1866, his papers Experiments on Plant Hybridization published in volume 4. Mendel's work was known by Carl von Margaret and Anton Keller von Marian. Margaret's negative approach discouraging to Mendel to pursue experiments on the pre-experiments, plant hierarchy. It may fail to produce different progenies due to parthenogenetics. It fails to produce new progenies and doesn't obey law of segregations. Unknowingly, he was died in 6 January 1884 in Brunn. Lewis, Collins, Sharma are rediscovers the Mendel laws.
helps to improve yield and pest and disease resistance to the crop.
In medicines, it helps to understand the inheritance of a genetic diseases and disorders. It also helps to the doctors and the genetic counselors to predict the livelihood of a person developing a genetic disorder and to provide application care and the support. It also helpful for the agriculture to modify crops, genetic crops, and also improve yield and resistance to the pests and diseases. In forensics, it helps to identify the suspects in the criminal cases. In genetic counseling, it helps the families to understand the genetic disorders and the traits and provide support and the guidance. Mendel's law do not consider the interaction between the gene and the environment, which can affect the expression of the traits. Mendel's law applications only helpful for the organisms that reproduce sexually, like such as animals and plants. They do not applicable to the organisms that produce asexually, such as bacteria. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Within one day they made this beautiful PPT, and without any practice, just I have given only this half day for the preparation, but they made a beautiful expression of the Mendel history as well as his contributions, and now what we are experiencing his fruitful applications in our life. They have beautifully explained. I really appreciate you all on behalf of Principal Sir and all the faculty. My best wishes to all of you to lead a best life. That is my wish. Thank you, Anurag. మీ అందరికీ అర్థమయ్యేటట్టు ఒక 2 వాక్యాలు నేను చెప్పేస్తాను. ఇక్కడ మెండల్ గారు భర్త అంతా కూడా చాలా పూర్ ఫ్యామిలీ నుంచి వచ్చారు. సో ఇది ఒక దాన్ని ఏమంటారు అంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ అడిషనల్ ఇన్పుట్ అంటారు. అంటే ఇవి ఎక్కడ కూడా లెసన్స్లో చెప్పాము, మాకున్నవంతా కూడా వాటి యొక్క అప్లికేషన్స్ వాటి చదవటమే లాస్ట్ అన్ని, కానీ ఎక్కడ కూడా మెంటల్ లైఫ్ హిస్టరీ గురించి ఒక ఎస్సే కానీ ఏమి ఉండదు అసలు. సో దాని వెనకతలు ఎంత కష్టం ఉందనేది ఒకసారి మనం తెలుసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. సో వాళ్ళు చెప్పింది ఏంటి అంటే లైఫ్ హిస్టరీలో
from third year, there is some application from the genetics.
To also identify suspects in criminal cases. Helps to improve yield and pest and disease resistance to the crop.
In medicines, it helps to understand the inheritance of a genetic diseases and disorders. It also helps to the doctors and the genetic counselors to predict the livelihood of a person developing a genetic disorder and to provide application care and the support. It also helpful for the agriculture to modify crops, genetic crops, and also improve yield and resistance to the pests and diseases. In forensics, it helps to identify the suspects in the criminal cases. In genetic counseling, it helps the families to understand the genetic disorders and the types and provide support and the guidance. Mendel's law do not consider the interaction between the gene and the environment, which can affect the expression of the traits. Mendel's law applications only helpful for the organisms that reproduce sexually, like such as animals and plants. They do not applicable to the organisms that produce asexually, such as bacteria. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity.